what I was trying to say on the previous video, or not a video, I mean recording of God, the universe, spirit, and spirituality. There are some things when I go back to listen to the audio that I feel like I could have said them in a different way, so that they make more sense, because only after I've listened to the audio will I make sense to myself. And if I don't make sense to myself, I want to record it again to clarify some of the things that I said before. So, Father, who's my Father, my actual Father, divine Father. I have other, I have a physical father who conceived me, may not have given birth to me, as in like my mother who conceived me may not have given birth to me because of how I was stripped away from her. That's a story for another day. But father is my actual father. That is my actual father. And I came here on a mission. Um, my purpose is defragmentation um, function. And part of my journey and my purpose and my destiny is to wake up and find my spirituality. That is to remember who I am in spirit. That's what I understand about spirituality, is to remember who I am in spirit. What is my spirit? And also to remember, not only to remember who I am in spirit, but there was a correction after I listened to the audio to say that it's not just only to remember who you are in spirit, it's also to understand who you are in God Himself, the universe, or who you are in God. That is what, like for instance, remembering that I'm His child, I'm His actual child. Remembering home, I remember my home in heaven. Remembering my mother, remembering all the things that have been taught, or not taught, but everything that all the things that they have taught me or said to me in order for me to be able to come and do this mission. So basically, spirituality is also waking up to your mission purpose. What are you here for? Waking up to understand that I'm a defragmentation tool, and I'm here to help bring the system into solid state. Solid state meaning I am part of um, the the people who came here to come and clean up the environment, so that the environment starts vibrating higher, and therefore we're able to upgrade the environment to a new plane. People have been talking about the 3D and 5D plane. So that is what spirituality, that's what I'm starting to understand about spirituality. That it is a spirituality, finding your spirituality is about finding out who you really are in spirit, what your purpose or mission or is. And I'm not so sure about my destiny, because I do have a destiny, but Father said to me that no, I do know what my destiny is. um I don't remember if he said I should say it or not, but I won't say it now. And that's the thing. My purpose is to come in here and fragment the environment and defragment it. That is, uh, take it apart, the pieces that needs to be taken apart, and build it back up again in such a way that every block is solid. Every block is as it should be. or as it is intended to be, as it is programmed to be. When I say every block, I mean every program, every file, every every function, whatever it is that's within the system. My job is to come in and look at it and say, oh, okay, you have a virus here, but this is not how you were supposed to be. You're supposed to have this. Where's this lost? And start building this file or this program back into solid state. That is, return every program to its original state. Because now Father wants to do an upgrade on the environment. Father wants to do an upgrade of Earth. And to do an upgrade of Earth, he wanted to first bring the system in its solid state. That is, bring everybody in their solid state, so that it's not difficult for the upgrade to happen. The upgrade doesn't take long, because when it comes and runs, it finds that, oh, this program has been fragmented too much. Parts of it are missing. It's not doing what it's supposed to do, whatnot, and the upgrade doesn't happen as a result. It doesn't happen easily. So he's trying to resolve all issues, clean up all issues that don't need to be there, fix whatever it is that needs to be fixed, so that he can run an upgrade. But at the same time, he is running an upgrade. I believe that this is how we're also running the upgrade. In that essence, my understanding is also that as we do these functions, me as a defragmentation tool, others doing antivirus, others doing debugging, others doing recycle bin, making sure that recycle bin is maintained and it's clean, because of now antivirus will be probably dumping a lot of corrupt files, and debugger will also be dumping a lot of corrupt programs, or whatever it is that is required in this environment for us to get it into a state where it's solid. And that is one thing that I'm understanding about spirituality, is that you're not only just waking up to who you really are in spirit. That is, my spirit is defragmentation tool, or defragmentation function, but also who you are in God. Okay, I'm the child of God. I was born by him and mother, God herself. And I have 12 brothers. I mean, not 12 brothers. I have 12 other siblings, brothers and sisters. I'm the 13th child. And yeah, so that's the one part that I wanted to clarify for myself. And then there's a part about when Father created himself and created the other brothers. There's a part that I missed, I forgot, where Father created more than, before Mother was created, Father created more brothers. However, while he did that, he realized that every time he created a new brother, they started becoming different, in a way that they started becoming to a degree, I would say, not stable. Because Father then realizes that he's actually not creating anything new. He's just recreating himself, but different degrees of himself. And insanity became one of them as well. As he created more of these beings, thinking that he's creating more and more and more, there's a point where they realized, him and his other three brothers, that the way they were creating before, or Father was creating before, was drawing energy from him. However, these other extras were now getting corrupt. So he said something about having a limit of how many you can actually duplicate. Not that you have a limit, but they actually had to make a decision to limit the number of duplication of himself that he could do. This is where I think he went and started to find another way of creating without sort of like overextending himself too much, because he said when he was showing me, he started losing his mind, sort of, because of now these extra programs were like out of control, because they were in his form as well. They could walk, they could get out of the mainframe, a spirit, and walk as well as the way he could, because I think he created them with purpose as well. But they were not that great. They were not that good, because of now the way he used to create wasn't working. So he needed a different form of creation, which he decided, or he found that actually writing creation as programs, developing a program and writing them down as programs, he was able to control exactly how the next being will be. And I think he did explain to me that as much as they were creating by purpose as well, the other next beings, there was something about them where, because of, I think when he created them, he was also calling them out, not necessarily writing them out. He didn't have control of adding parameters to contain them to just them and in their environment. That is to contain them, not to go and do other things which they're not supposed to do, or to contain them in such a way that they focus on their purpose. They do what they need to do. So this is when I think he came up with the idea of, let me find another way of creating without me saying a word and it's created. This is where he starts doing programs. He came up with a language. He wrote a language that he could create with. This language that he could create with gave him the ability to define exactly what this being or this program would do, and make sure that he controlled the parameters this program will exist in. That is, this program can only do one, two, three. If you're a toaster, you're just going to be a toaster. You're not going to try and go boil water. This is what I usually gave example with when it comes to business analysis, is that sometimes this design and purpose of a program, people want to add their own things there and try to do something that they're not supposed to be doing with the program, then come back and say the system can't do this. But this is not the system for that. The system for that is something else. Same thing here. So Father, I remember him showing me. I think he didn't even show me. He didn't even show me, but he had to destroy the other, because they were starting to become even a bit evil. Like there's one that attacked him, or and there were other ones who were like, conspiring against him, so to speak. And this was also making him lose his mind in a way. So the decision was, no, he needs to destroy these programs. And I think this is where he destroyed the first time and the last time. He said something like he would never want to do something like that again. And this is why, when we, as his children, because of where Earth was and the state that Earth was, we said maybe we should just, sort of like uh, maybe he should just cash his chips and let it be. He refused. He was like, I want to try one more time. There's no way, because I asked him, why don't you do it? He's like, I'm not a destroyer, I'm a creator. So having to have to face himself like that, all the other parts of himself like that, and also having to have to destroy those parts so that he can gain his sanity back, was very hard on him. But he did it. He did it, and he got back his sanity again. But now with Mother, when they had to create Mother, this is where he had to, if I remember, Mother's creation was kind of beautiful, to be honest. Father still imagined her. He created her what I'm seeing is mother was created sort of like part. Father would imagine her while he's like coding her. Part of it was coding, part of it was imagining her, sort of to speak. And he took his time, I remember, to develop her. He took his time to create her. And eventually they created her the way she came out. This is why I feel like mothers also still existed in a, no, the other ones as well did, but father, when he was writing mother, he took his time. He really searched his heart as to what it is that he wished for, what it is that he hoped for, what it is that he needed, he felt deep in his heart he wanted. And as he created mother, as he wrote mother, he took his time. And yeah, mother, that, like I always say, that they are very perfect for each other. They are perfect for each other. And yeah. So yes, father had to create, he did create others after the other brothers, but those creations of himself, because it's now where he realizes, no man, I'm not really like creating new beings, it's me. I'm creating me over and over again, and the more I create myself more, the more I get madder and madder and madder, and like that is like these, the more these beings of the sides of him which he creates are becoming more and more uh there's like almost there's a movie about, is it multiple or duplicity or multiplicity or something like that, duplicity or multiplicity, where this guy also found a way to create himself, and as he created himself, the other parts of himself started getting like dumber and dumber and dumber, something like that. So this is what father said, is that he found that there was a limit. I think he could only do it up until 5 or something like that, but then they decided that they're gonna keep it at 6. I mean at 4. Yeah, at 4, or was it 4? Yeah, at 4. Hence, mother had to be created with a purpose as well, the way she was created, and Uncle Oldman, that is that Uncle Devel himself, also had to be created that way. So, yeah. Um, in terms of the universe, what I was trying to say is, this is when I'm seeing father, and I'm like, father's like the main guy, the main umbrella, but under this umbrella there's many universes which exist under this umbrella, which are like, um I would say extensions of him, or yeah, extensions of him. And in these universes, he has um Earth programs, planet programs. I mean, he has planet programs, moon programs, whatever, sun, stars, whatever is required to be part of the universe. As a the universe being the operating system. So he's got a couple of, father would have a couple of operating systems, meaning every operating system representing a different universe. Under that operating system, father will also have programs for that operating system. Some programs are essential for the operating system to run, right? And some programs are, yeah, it's like, what do you call those programs? I forgot what they called, man. So he would have those type of programs which are essential programs to have in under the universe operating system to run. And under the universe operating system to run, you'll have different folder, not different folders. Yeah, different folders of, like, your C drive will have your different folders of, and then you will have like program files. I don't remember the other folders now. Programs files. And when you go into program files, you'll find programs in there that are installed on that in that universe. So it could be, the programs could be so and so planet, so and so planet, and one of those programs was Earth planet. And then from the Earth planet, you would have what you have on Earth as a sub or under Earth, installed under or programmed under Earth. So Father is far much more than the universe. The universe represents him in a sense of, it is like an extension, like I say, it's like an extension of him. But I feel like that wording is not correct. It's more like, yeah, it could be. It could be that we could still call it an extension of him. But it doesn't make up Father. Father is far much more than that. And I believe he's not. So someone said somewhere that you will wake up to realize that God is actually a massive computer, and we are all programs under him. And I'm finding it different. Father is not a massive computer first. Father is more energy first, more spirit first. And that spirit is intelligent enough to vibrate so high that it creates more ideas, and it is able to bring those ideas into life, into existence, and able to write himself as a program to exist in a form, be it a human body form or a warehouse rack, what do you call it, mainframe rack. But he's able to exist in that way. And he's far much more than a computer, because then in a computer, he is able to exist in it. That is, when they were building when he was building those mainframes and stuff, they would live in there. They would, sometimes you would, when he gave me the vision of where they were, I would hear them talking to each other through this mainframe racks, and including that other, I think that rack that I was talking about is actually the first mainframe rack, first mainframe, a frame, sort of to speak. Then it evolved into a mainframe racks, which has systems inside. The systems having cards, exactly the same thing. And when you say Father's a massive computer, no, he's more than that. He's not just a massive he's not a massive computer. He can be installed in the massive computer, but it's not him. It's more like it's a extension of him, a program that he wrote to represent him in that format, in that machine. And as installed, and saying, okay, this whole world is running where they are in the spirit world. There's a place where all of these mainframes live, and in those mainframes there's every mainframe having everything that is existing in the universe, multiverse, inside of Father, where it's managed from. So like so to speak, like the programs are running, yes, they are running from some computer room with mainframes and stuff. but he's able to walk and do other things outside of the computer room, and he's able to go into that as a spirit inside those computers and move about from rack to rack. That's what they used to do before. When they're in spirit, they can go as far as moving between those racks. That's what I saw. I don't remember doing it myself. I think I was programmed differently, but I probably could. But the one other person who's done that, who used to live like that, who's old enough to have lived like that, is my sister. I call her imposter goddess sister. So yeah. Um yeah. And perhaps Uncle Oldman was able to exist like that as well. So that was some of the things that I wanted to clarify. That father did go a bit cuckoo when he created too much of himself, and then because of he realized that he was just creating the same man over and over again, he had to create a way to create other beings in a way that he's not going to extend himself too far. This is when it came to doing programs. Mother was the first program to be written like that, and she was created with a purpose as well. And then after her, it was Uncle Omen, that is Uncle Devel. And yeah, I think that's what I wanted to clarify. That's how I see it. It could change tomorrow. I might have forgotten a detail, and then when I see it, I might have to do an update. But yeah, I remember that. Anyway.